বন্ধুরা স্বাগত আমাদের লাইভ শিডিউল আমরা স্টার্ট করছি। আপনারা জানেন অলরেডি জেনে গেছেন যে আমরা কি বিষয়ে আজকে লাইভ করতে চলেছি। বেশ কিছু সময় পর আমরা লাইভে এসেছি। আপনারা জানেন গোটা বিশ্ব আজ দুভাগে বিভক্ত। একদিকে মার্কিন সাম্রাজ্যবাদের পক্ষে কিছু দেশ দাঁড়িয়েছে, আর একদিকে রাশিয়ার সামরিক অভিযান নিয়ে কিছু তাদের পাশে দাঁড়িয়েছে, রাশিয়ার পাশে দাঁড়িয়েছে। আমরা এই বিষয়টাতেই জেনে নিতে চাইব যে কি ধরনের সংকট আজ ইউরোপে এবং গোটা বিশ্বে ইউক্রেন এবং রাশিয়ার সামরিক অভিযান ঘিরে। আমরা সরাসরি লাইভে উপস্থিত হব লুগান্স থেকে। আমাদের একজন শ্রমিক সংগঠনের একজন চেয়ারম্যান রয়েছেন বামপন্থী শ্রমিক সংগঠনের, তার কাছে জেনে নিতে চাইব যে কি ধরনের সংকট ঘনীভূত ওখানে এবং কি ধরনের ঘটনাই বা ঘটতে চলেছে। We should welcome Kochitov Andrei from Lugansk. Welcome, sir, to our studio.
Oh, thank you very much. But only one thing, everything okay. You introduced me as I can understand well, but I am not sure I am a comrade because all of us are leftists, and that's why it's better to say comrade to each other.
Sure, comrade.
Oh,
Actually,
yes.
as you all know, that Ukraine and Russia crisis evolve many things around the world, even in Western Europe, even in Eastern Europe. But I first want to know the fact why such military operation is going on against Ukraine. If you please briefly.
You see, it is a very wide question because we have to start from the 2014 when the coup d'etat happened in Kiev and Nazi regime came to power in Kiev. It is very difficult for us at that moment to understand that it was really Nazi regime. But now I can understand that Ukraine was prepared during a very long time, something about 30 years. They would oh, sorry, it's artillery, hard artillery in here. Because we are still under the bombing.
Still bombing in here. Still bombing in Lugansk.
Yeah. Now I can hear the big explosive, but somewhere a little far.
You are in safe positions right now.
Sorry.
You are in safe position right now in Lugansk.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, comrade.
Yeah. So the Western countries, especially United States, feed Ukrainian Nazis during the 30 years. You know, the Ukraine is a rather big country, which consists of something about five regions, and only one of this region not Orthodox. The Catholics, and they always were very proud that the young men during the Second World War from this region supported Nazi regime in Germany. Many young guys during the Second World War served in the German Nazi army. And now the grandsons of these Nazi soldiers came to the power in the Ukraine. There, maybe 1 or 2 days ago, the ex-head of Ukrainian parliament, Andrei Parubi, made a short interview where he said that his grandfathers fight against the Russia, and they didn't win in the Second World War, and he has a task to win in nowadays because he grandson of Nazi soldiers. So this ideology, it was impossible to accept in our region because we live in the east part of Ukraine, and it is very, very close to the Russia Federation, and there are many people who have many relatives in Russia, and also you see this region is more international because the people of many nationalities are still living in here, but western part of Ukraine, they hate everybody except themselves. So it's possible to say that when we try to have a conversation with them, that we don't want to live in this Ukraine, and we want to organize a federation in Ukraine. They started to bomb us by a regular army. So for us, for all our people, this is not the war or invasion Russia in Ukraine. For us, the Putin just started to stop our war because he said that his aim not to occupy Ukraine, his aim to destroy military forces which are very aggressive to Russia Federation, and they also to kill all Nazi, because he want to see the neutral country in Ukraine. So that's all.
One question, one question I have to ask, that in 2014 there is an elected government in Ukraine. They're headed by Yanukovych. What is the reason behind it? The most popular uprising against him and to force to resign. What kind of things happen on 2014?
You see, the situation what happened in 2014. The situation led to this conflict by many mistakes. Because you see, unfortunately, the government of Ukraine never had the straight way to do something. What do you mean? Yes, what do you mean? What do you mean? I said right in English, yes?
What is the reason behind it? So
Yeah.
uprising against him.
You see, because they always walk between West countries and Russia. And you see, if I think in normal country, they first of all maybe they should organize referendum to ask people what they want. If the majority of the people said we want to go to Europe, why not? You should take 5 years to work with people who against the Europe. Maybe in 5 years, step by step, they change their mind. And next time in referendum, the result maybe would another. So the same if you go Russia, but in Ukraine we could see that all president when they want to be elected, they started to say, "Oh, we want to be friends with Russia. We want to give to Russian language the status of state language." and that's all. But when the president was elected, on the next day he completely forget about everything. During 30 years, no just one way. They always came from one side to another, and that's why I think it was the very good opportunity for Americans to organize the something like the color revolution in Ukraine, so-called Maidan, and that's all.
And that uprising has happened. There's a lots of bloodbath around that year, and as well as it is going around up to 2021. And why the Lugansk and Donetsk to give up with the Ukrainian constitutions, and they are declaring their themselves as a sovereign country. Why such declaration has made?
Oh, also it is a very question, the one side and the other. It is a hard question for us because do you remember the Minsk agreements? And according to the Minsk agreement, which were signed by President of Ukraine, the straight dialogue between our republics and Ukraine. And I think when two men decided to find a solution, they started to talk about it. And in any way, they will find solution. But from the very next day after the signing of Minsk agreement, the Ukrainian side said we will never talk with republics of Donbass because they are terrorists. And unfortunately, the Ukraine made everything to push our republic out of the body of the state. For example, they use all kind of blockade our territory. I mean, economical, energetical, pension, and informational blockade. They completely blockade our territory. So can you imagine that 4.5 million people in the middle of the Europe really nearly out of law? And just only one country who tried to really help us, it was Russia Federation. So it is possible to say that Ukrainian government never wanted us as inhabitants of or citizens of Ukraine. They just wanted our territory, but without people. I think so.
Yeah, right. But I'm again going back to the 2014, when the government has been toppled, the Yanukovych resigned. After that, there is a bloodbath inside also. Inside in Ukraine also. If you see in Odessa, there is a mass shooting and many people has been killed. For what reason these people has been killed? Because trade union office torched, Communist Party of Ukraine banned. What is your view? Why such bloodbath in the Ukraine, even in the Western Ukraine? I especially emphasize on this matter.
You see, also it is a very good question because you see the whole world nearly noticed the situation. I mean the government of European countries and so on. Only common people like you, like me, like our comrades in other country, they asked why. As for me, it is maybe not polite meaning, but as for me, it was the big postcard to the whole world from Nazi regime. We already here. We already came to kill anybody who didn't accept our ideology. because you see, it is not secret that people in Odessa were prepared to fight against Nazi, but Nazi already came to kill, not to fight. And also, there are many interesting things about the Odessa. For example, one deputy from Parliament of Ukraine, Alexei Goncharenko, after they stopped burning in Odessa, he came in the building and he made a video in his cam and put in the air and said that we are so glad I can see the many bodies of people who are against us, and they show this in TV program in the air. How it's possible in normal country? You see, he was in the cam shows the smoking bodies. It was so terrible, and after that, nobody was punished by by police. Nobody said who was guilty in that terrible crime. I mean, in Ukraine. And when Putin started the operation, one of example he mentioned, it was the cruel murder in Odessa. And also one more thing, they have to accept the number of bodies, something about 53 or 54 people. But at the same time, in the official site of Odessa police, there were announcement that 350 people disappeared at that time in Odessa. So we can understand that the people who were killed, because they immediately closed the square around Odessa by the big fence, and during 24 hours nobody could came to the building, so they hide bodies of dead people. So I hope that in not very long future we will see the tribunal who will judge the murders of Odessa. And also, I mentioned about the ex-head of Ukrainian parliament who his grandfather as the Nazi soldier. He was ahead of the execution of people in Odessa. His name, I repeat one more time, Andrei Poruby. He was the leader of murders in Odessa. Okay.
Okay, so there's no justice. Still, there is no justice about the Odessa crisis. I know, but thing is that if you break away republic from the Ukraine, like Lugansk and Donetsk, how many peoples in Lugansk are still they are for their own nations apart from Ukraine? How many peoples are there? And how it is to be made? It is referendum, or you are just declaring yourself?
You see now in here something about 4.5 million inhabitants, but in referendum took part something about 7 million people. You know that to the last week we were divided nearly in two parts. One part was under Ukraine, and now our forces try to relieve this part, and maybe after the operation will be finished, something about 7 million people will inhabitants of our republics, the both republic. The Donetsk something about 4.5, and the rest in Lugansk.
So all peoples are majority of the peoples are favoring for their own nations, right?
Yeah. You see, in general, Donbass, it is a very multinational region. For example, even I know in Donetsk and also in Lugansk, there are some churches. I mean, the majority of the people are Orthodox in here. Yes,
Okay.
but also we have the mosque for Muslims. We have the church for Catholics, and something more, more little religions. But anyway, during that years, we were living here like brothers without any ethnical conflict or religional conflicts. And now all our people try to defend themselves, their homes, from side of Ukraine.
What about the progressive forces in Ukraine? About the Nazi regime, against the Nazi regime? Any progressive forces are still working in Ukraine, or all peoples are really fanatics? Right now is nationalist fanatics.
No, thanks God, there are many people who is very well understand the reality of the situation. But you know, during 8 years, the people were under very big pressure of mass media propaganda. Uh, all day they were. They listen that Russia is aggressor, that Putin is dirty murder, and so on and so on. But anyway, you see, I can see now the Russian forces. They're very polite. Sure, it is military operation, and uh, there will be victims. It's understandable, but anyway, in Kiev or in Kharkov, they say that occupied, no, not occupied, surrounded. There is water supply and electricity. Gas station is still working. They not destroy all structure. But can you imagine in this situation the NATO forces? First of all, they destroy these supplies. After that, during 2 weeks, they bomb everything. And after that, they went soldiers to into the city. Yes, Russian try to avoid victims of the war, but you know, for example, in Kharkov, they try Nazi forces. They try to cover by civilian people and protect themselves. And
I'm coming to this point that
okay,
during the military operation, what is the Russian view? What will be the achieved after the this operation?
uh, y-
What their
yeah,
methods?
yeah. You see, I heard very carefully President Putin, because we also didn't expect that situation with military operation, and he said that he want to see Ukraine in the future like independent, neutral country, but without Donbas republics, because we had a referendum in 2014, and Russia Federation recognized us and now he said that he want Ukraine as independent country without Nazi ideology and without any aggression from to the side of Russia Federation. So that's all.
This is their internal security matter for the Russian Federation, in my point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, during the war, the Western media has been portraying the Russian soldier indiscriminately killed the Ukrainian peoples. But if you see, actually, is a lots of Indian students are in the Ukraine and they're studying for the medical studying, but they are stuck during the war front. And if you see in Kharkiv and Sumy, there's a lots of Indian students are there. So during the evacuations, some media also reported that Indian students are made. They're treated as a human shield by the Ukrainian army. How it is to be truth?
You see, the truth is that Nazi they hate anybody.
Azov battalions, Azov battalions. They are working
Yes,
here.
yes. You see, even I saw the interview with a black skin student. I don't know from which country, and already he is in safe place, and he told that he was pushed away from train because he just a black skin guy. For us, it's terrible situation because the foreign students for us, first of all, they are kids. All of them are very young men. So it's impossible to protect themselves if you say that you are brave soldiers.
For your information and for the viewers, we all I declared that the two sisters from Durgapur, they are stuck in the Ukrainian city in Kharkiv during the war front. They are safely landing in Durgapur.
Oh, thank you. They where they landing?
Yesterday they are in Durgapur. The one name is Rumki and Rumki Ganguly.
Okay. That's good. I really congratulate you because it was terrible situation. You see, for example, I remember in the same situation in Lugansk, 2014. There were some students from India who had some problems with their passports, and they decided to stay in Lugansk. And I know I was involved in that situation. I know that the teacher tried to hide them from bombing from Ukrainian army. And also, I remember we tried to help them to get their Russia diplomas, because the diplomas of our university not recognized at that moment. So all people try to help them, and for me it's unbelievable. They try to cover themselves by young men from other countries. It is terrible situation, and I know that President of India, I know that Vice Minister of India called to the Putin, and Putin gave order to the military forces to find them and to bring them to Russia Federation to protect them. So I've heard that nearly all of them already out of that region, the out of front line, and I'm glad about it.
And what is the latest situation? Because Russian also evacuate the Indian students in Sumy. How much it is to be truth? As you we heard the news from the Kharkiv, there's a Russian soldier also evacuate the Indian students.
I know it's difficult to say because this is the other side from us, and it's difficult to get information, real information. But I know that Putin gave order to soldiers to find them and to protect them. So, as Putin said, he always did. And I hope that everything okay with that student.
Now I'm coming to the political questions again. What about in Lugansk structure has been made in the administration? Is there follow the Soviet rules or their structurally is new about the administration procedures?
So you see the common democracy structure. We have the head of our republic who is elected by all people. We have our parliament, deputy of this parliament also elected by the people. So it is possible to say the same structure like in the Soviet Union or something like in Russia Federation now. So you see, we have they're all normal structures, but without Nazi ideology. That's all. We try to get more social state, and it's difficult to compare with Soviet Union because you see the whole world now the capitalistic countries, except that only one or two, yes. But anyway, we everything do in democratic way.
One question coming from the viewers. There is a Shobik Mitra. He told, "What about the views of Ukrainian Communist Party? What about the Putin's idea about the Ukrainian Communist? Is there working any Ukrainian Communist Party activities in Ukraine?"
You see, the main enemy for Nazi is the communists, and that's why since from 2014 the Nazi regime completely forbid the communist ideology, the communist party. Some of them went to the Russia. Some of them, unfortunately, disappeared completely. Some of them hide without any announcement and so on. So it's possible to say that no any communist movement now in Ukraine.
Before 2014, there are any communist parliament members there in Ukraine parliament?
Yes. It was the third fraction in the parliament, in the Ukrainian parliament, and it was rather powerful.
Okay. And again, I'm asking about the Lugansk and Donbas resistance. Today, we can show that some military tanks labeled with Soviet Union flags. What is the reason behind it? So still you are favoring for the Soviet Union?
You see, for example, for me personally, I was born in the Soviet Union, and nearly half of my life I was a Soviet citizen. And also many people in here are very miss about the Soviet Union, because from the social side of our life, we were very, very well protected. And also now among our friends from other countries, I very often asked why Stalin is so popular right now in the Russia and already in ex-Soviet republics. And I answer that 70 years ago, Stalin said that if you allow $2 came to your country, you have to forget about your independence, about your country, if you will be lucky, they will leave the name of your country. If you allow $2 circle in your country. Now you can see that that's true. And he said also many things that for now people understand that he said the truth, and that's why he's now became more popular than just 10 or 12 years ago.
So Stalin's still popular in Russian Federation or other CIS country, right?
Yeah, and also just maybe 1 year ago, I had a meeting in I don't remember, maybe in Brussels. Maybe in Brussels, and I met one foreigner who, oh no, in Vienna, in Austria. The guy from OSC, he came from a Ukrainian side to our checkpoint, and the only one thing he remembered, and this thing was blamed him, and he said, do you know what the first thing I saw in your checkpoint, in your site? I said, I don't know, maybe Russian flag. No, the portrait of Stalin. It was terrible. So you see, they still afraid Stalin, and I am very glad about it.
Right. It is really it is a new information we got from the Indian side, because Indian viewers, really it is a new information for us. Okay, so what I'm saying, these are Western European communist parties. What their views regarding imperialist war, or it is a Russian invasions on Ukraine, and or it is a war on the justice? What kind of view they have?
You see, during not during. Oh yes, it's possible to say during the all 8 years. We have a very good contact with Communist Party from other countries, for example, from Ireland, from Italy, from Germany, from Greece, and they really understand what's really happening in here. That this is the forces between international. This is the fighting. Between international imperialism and Russia, because Russia is a huge country and many forces in Western side who want to divide Russia in small parties, and you know the very ancient proverb, divide and rule. And the communists in many countries support us very well. They always give information about our situation, and you see, during these 8 years, we nearly every day feel support from their side.
Okay. So the thing is that war is still going on, and many people already lost their lives. But in the international sanction against the Russian Federation, but some countries also support the Russian Federation. So which countries are there for your side?
Mm-hmm. No, first of all, I want to say that also you see it is about the double standards of the modern world. We are under the bombing during 8 years, and nobody in Western mass media even mentioned about this situation. Uh, you can hear that we're still under the bombing, and nobody said about us. 4.5 million people in the middle of the European continent. were nearly disappeared. Now it's difficult to say how many already killed among citizens in the Ukrainian side, but we know that Russia tried to protect the civilians. They always made a corridor and announced, please, civilians, you can go away without any problem. And I completely agree with you that many countries who didn't support Western sanctions, for example, China, United Arabic Emirates, uh, Saudi
Syria,
Arabia,
what about the
uh,
Syria context? Syria.
Syria, Turkey, India. You know, India also doesn't support. So now the situation, as for me, the situation is not so terrible because you know that with the uh, when you try to have a friendship with Western countries, they try to get you their ideology. But for us, the many things in their ideology is just terrible in the modern world. I mean, the LGBT society, you see, it is the movement which against humanity, which try to destroy the all roots of common people. So maybe in depth on our soul, we are glad about the sanctions because you see the Russia culture. Anyway, I'm anti-globalist because I like this world. I love this world. I love the many countries. For example, India, who has their own tradition, which already exists during 5,000 years, and with all understanding of the world. I love my Arabic friends who also has their own tradition. You see, the normal people they want to live in the peaceful world without any problem, but only in Western countries they try to uh, invade all countries. And you see, just 2 years ago, I have an opportunity to talk with President Syria, Bashar Assad, and he said very interesting thing that I accept. He said that Western world try to make a chaos in country and the big silence, informational blockade around the country. So the same we feel in our situation. Nobody said about that we are during 8 years were living in
Yes.
under the bombing.
Actually, Western
Nobody
media
said.
doesn't picturize that the 8 years were. It is true. But we are coming to the end of this sessions right now. Just
Okay.
last questions I have. The soldiers, Russian soldiers, those who are in war front, their tanks sign with Z. What is
Yeah.
the Z? What is the Z hours begin? Actually, it is the turning point. What is your view? The Russian federations coming to the expand their federations just like Soviet. What is your view? And what about the Z?
You see, there are three letters because there are three big groups of Russian forces. The first one is O, the second was V, the third one is Z. So it is just simple, but it is something like a mem in the Russian side. За родину, it means for motherland, and so on. But in this situation, in this just a sign who is our side, I mean, thanks who is another.
Okay.
Not,
This is a
not,
camouflage.
nothing.
This is also a
Yes,
camouflage.
yeah. Nothing very special, but people like it.
Actually, what I'm saying, in other Russian Federation, breakaway Russian Federation from the Soviet, like Azerbaijan, like Kazakhstan, what's their view regarding this kind of military exercise or military conflict?
You see, the majority of the government of the ex-Soviet Union republics, if even they don't support that, they understand the situation. You see, but because the Vladimir Putin, as I understand, uh, he is very wise man, and he clearly explained to the head of this republic, of presidents of that republics, why he have to organize the military operation. For example, do you know that 32 biological labs were organized by United States, existed in Ukraine, and Putin said that they prepared everything against the Russia Federation, and that's why he just have to organize this military federation, because the Ukraine were planned to fight against Russia.
Okay, so we all know the Ukraine was the biggest part in the Soviet Union, as
Yeah.
well as today itself, they have a agricultural field, they have a mineral resources field. There's a vast area, and what I will say in economic context, the European Union and other economics advisory in Western Europe, they want their leaderships in the Ukraine for business perspective. Right now, from these discussions, we all know what about the conflict is. Next session, we will surely meet and what is the main economic criteria in Lugansk right now, and what about the employment situations, and what kind of employment generation program in Lugansk. Just tell briefly what are the economic activities in Lugansk right now.
Oh, you see, I think it really would better if we organize the next meeting about this, because
Yeah, sure,
it is
sure.
a very complicated question. But anyway, the Donbass was an empty field just 200 years ago. When the Russian Empire find the coal in here, and at the same time they have a very long war with the Turkey Empire, Osman Empire. They organized this region as heavy industrial region. So Lugansk, Donetsk, Rostov, it was one region full of heavy industry, full of coal, full of many steel factories and so on. So the agriculture is not very big in here. In the central part of the Ukraine, it is more agricultural than us, but we are industrial region, and because we were under complete blockade from Ukrainian side, the economical situation was terrible in here. But anyway, Russia supported us also in this, and all people think about it, and we hope that Russia will help to refresh our economy, I mean industrial economy, but who knows, we will see.
Okay, we have really out of time right now, but our really what I'm saying, as a humanity, we should all pray that war should stop, after some time, because it will lost the people's life.
Yeah.
And let's Lugansk peoples and Donbas people should live peacefully in the eastern part of the Ukraine with their own sovereign country. Thank you, Kozhitov, Andrei, for your valuable time, because it's a rare situation in your area. Last message for the Indian peoples, do you have any?
First of all, thank you to all people who try even not support us, just try to understand the situation. It is very important for us, and I wish to all Indian people uh, just to live in peaceful country, in peaceful world, because this is the uh, main thing to all people. All normal people want to live in peace, not in the war. So I wish to all India countries, to all Indian people, to live in peaceful world. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kozhitov, and our viewers. We are just giving you some synopsis about the conflict. We are not intended to favor anything or any country, because we all know truth should prevail at any cost. Thank you very much for
Thanks to you.
bearing with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So bye bye.
Thank you.
Mhm.